It looks like a loaded gun, sounds like something that could really hurt you. And when you see someone using it, like in this YouTube video from Tucson, would you know whether it's a real gun? Well, as it turns out, officers may have a tough time telling the difference, too. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Guy Atchley. Fake firearms known as airsoft guns are growing in popularity.
They are, but when one shows up in your neighborhood, it's difficult to tell whether you're looking at a toy or a lethal weapon. Tucson police facing the same kind of situation. Not on your sides, Kevin Keehan explains the frustration from police and the people who use them properly.
The guns are realistic, which is precisely the appeal and the problem. This East Side neighborhood knows the situation. Earlier this month, Tucson police swarmed after frantic neighbors reported a possible fight between people with guns. They turned out to be airsoft guns, replica firearms that shoot pea-sized plastic pellets.
It's something that we have seen some increase in over the last few years. These guns have become rather popular.
Sergeant Matt Ronstead says officers respond to the calls with the mindset suspects could be armed.
Because of that, our officers often will respond with their firearms drawn and will confront the individual at gunpoint until such time as they can determine that, in fact, what we're dealing with is essentially a toy gun.
Is it frustrating when it turns out to be a toy gun?
I don't think frustrating is really the word. I think we're relieved when we realize that, in fact, that's the situation.
What goes through your mind?
Expletives, usually.
Kylie Hyde is part of the Tucson Airsoft Coalition, whose members use airsoft guns during weekend military simulations for fun.
From a training standpoint, it's like playing G.I. Joes for full-grown men.
Hyde says they take safety very seriously.
We treat the weapons like they're real weapons.
Including never taking them out in public, like on a street.
You have those few bad apples that go out and make it a hassle for other people. The weapons being realistic, that's great. That's part of the draw. But at the same time, we have these guys that go out and, they drive their cars down the street and shoot at their friends and, vandalize things with them. And that is definitely a threat to our hobby.
Both TPD and Tucson Airsoft Coalition tell gun owners to be aware that people and law enforcement cannot tell if what you're holding is loaded with bullets instead of pellets. That's a message that airsoft gun manufacturers stress as well.
Kevin, we want to warn everyone, you have an example of one of these airsoft guns here. This is not loaded, but there is something pretty specific on this that should be able to tell officers it's a fake.
Yeah, as you can tell, it looks like just a real gun, and the federal government requires that the manufacturers who make these put this orange tip on the top of it. But from what we can tell, there's no law requiring the owner to keep that tip on, and in fact, we know of some people who remove it, so that doesn't help law enforcement.
Remove it, use a black marker to cover it up, that kind of a thing. All right, Kevin, interesting story. Thank you.